Ryan's Daughter, 1970, was the third of 4 films David Lean made with Maurice Jarre. The film did well commercially, but the reviews were devastating, such as that of Pauline Kael, the doyenne of American film critics, which was so harsh that it sent David Lean into a depression that kept him away from the cinema for 14 years, until passage to India.
New York Critics Circle invited David Lean to come for lunch.
They're very good with their tongues, and I was there for about 2 hours. And Pauline Kael's is pretty sharp-tongued.
And she just lit into him. Why did you make this movie? And the poor guy thought he'd come for a sort of social meeting, and it was anything but.
She got up and trashed his films, and he was shattered by it.
In the end, I remember saying, I don't think you ladies and gentlemen will be satisfied until I do a film in 16mm in black and white. And Pauline Kael said, no, you can have color. And that was the end of it. It really quite had an awful effect on me. And I thought, why on earth am I making films? I don't have to. And I didn't for a bit. It shakes one's confidence, terribly.
Musically, Ryan's Daughter does not have the exuberance of Lawrence of Arabia, nor the romanticism of Dr. Zhivago, nor the dramatic and psychological depth of A Passage to India. But it has a little bit of all of them. And although it is a creation that, as I will explain, is very confusing with one of its central themes, it has in its favor not only the beauty of the main theme, but also a very significant use of pre-existing music and an exemplary use of musical silence. Set in 1917 Ireland at the time of the rising against the British occupation, Rosie Ryan, the daughter of the local tavern keeper, marries Charles, a mature widowed schoolmaster. But the marriage fails because he is a quiet man, and she is a passionate and sexually unsatisfied young woman. When an English officer arrives in town, the two begin a torrid affair with fatal consequences.
Come on. Lights out.
Michael, a mentally handicapped man who does not speak, is accentuated by his musical theme, with a circus-like buffoonish air that shows his innocent, almost childlike simplicity. It is a theme that serves as a counterpoint to the rest of the music, individualizing him and isolating him from the environment of the conflict. Although his music interacts with that of the rebels. It also interacts with the hidden romance of Rosie and the Major, of which it reveals clues. And with the tense moment with the guns, the danger of which he and his music are shown to be completely unaware of. Rosie Ryan's theme is the main one, introduced in the opening credits with a tone that somehow advances the turbulence that will affect the character. The theme has well-defined phases. In the first, it shows Rosie in her sincerity, innocence, and carelessness. In the second, when she meets Charles and becomes attracted to him, the music begins to externalize her inner pulsations.
It's not a hanging matter to be young, but it maybe should be a hanging matter for a man of middle age to...
Her growing longing to be loved and desired.
This place, not...
It will make me a different person, won't it?
Marriage?
No, the satisfaction of the flesh.
Well, that's a gate I have not been through myself, but... No, it won't make you a different person.
I want it to.
But dissatisfaction comes on the wedding night itself. When she meets the Major, a third phase emerges, that of desire, of carnal attraction. The sexual relations between the two are without music. Finally, out of this desire comes love. And what about Charles? David Lean masterfully films Charles's space, his territory, the place where Rosie will live with him. And with Beethoven.
I can't believe you're here.
Well, I am.
Well, now.
Music that, for her, is ancient and distant. Charles is passionate about Beethoven, but neglects his wife's needs. And it is very significant, and once again masterful, how Lean films Charles's imaginary reenactment of Rosie's infidelity. Not with her music, which should show some closeness and understanding. But with Beethoven, which means that he does not understand anything that happens to Rosie. And the same when he discovers the proof of the infidelity. Change of music. Beethoven. Charles is in another world, not Rosie's. And what about the Major? Well, something strange happens to Major Randolph. Not very understandable and very confusing. The character appears in the movie without any music. Michael sees him, and then they let him get into the car to go to the village. When he arrives in the village, this music is playing. Is it the Major's music? Is it the music of the British?
Captain Smith.
It is a very similar theme, too similar to Michael's theme. In fact, it seems that Michael's theme is a circus-like comic variation of the Major's theme, which makes no sense at all.
Look at Michael!
The great similarity between Michael's and the Major's music might suggest a connection between the two, but they really have no relationship or similarity between them that would justify or make sense of such a similarity. Beyond this scene, or that Michael brings Rosie the Major's music and makes her understand that he has died. But there is no reasonable connection. The Major's theme sounds independent of Michael when they have captured the Irish rebel. Here it sounds like a show of triumph. Or when they interrogate Rosie as a possible informer. Or, of course, when the Major commits suicide. The more than reasonable similarity of his theme to Michael's is confusing and hard to explain. In any case, Ryan's Daughter was a very remarkable contribution by Maurice Jarre, not perfect, but of high interest and beauty, as in the end of the movie, when Rosie and her husband leave in search of a new life, and the main theme plays the evidence that the future they both are looking for will probably be much better.